Good day, hatchlings. Caro, your crow, bringing you a few stories. As many of you who may have heard, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which scrapped a ship with 21 crew members, was blown up on Monday with controlled explosions that severed a part of the 600-ton bridge. Yet it left a small amount of debris, small being inaccurate. It left a portion of the bridge on the bow of the bows boats. If you know anything about boats, you know that tipping forward is not a good thing. Luckily, it was a cargo freighter, so it had a bunch back. How to say that? I think I can get away with it. Apparently, we're referring to a ship and having nothing. But there is one question that is in my mind. Why did they need 21 of the crew members to stay on the ship? When you think about the fact that a ship of that size needs a crew of 21 to stay on the ship, doesn't that seem a bit excessive? Given the fact it uh, was not a when you needed sails and masts, and you wouldn't really need 21 people to run the ship right now. So why? But there's another part to this story, as reported by the Indian Times. The previous news points were handled by. But anyways, the question that I have, besides that, is: did the FBI take the crew's cell phones and just say, "Oh no, we're taking your cell phones, but you have to stay here"? So supposedly, as reported by the Times of India, the FBI did take the crew's cell phones. Apparently, they're being investigated to identify if there was knowledge of issues with the ship. At least that's what the FBI says. I would not put it past them. But that's because it's a issue of national security. Isn't that like the favorite tagline of the FBI? It's a matter of national security. And I mean, yes, the Francis Scott Key Bridge is a huge thing. Also, there were suspicions previous, especially brought up to me by one of our colleagues. Well, okay, so it was brought up to this. They showed me the video and oh yeah, that looks like it might have been a controlled explosion. Sure, this could have all been government is watching. I'm kidding. Where am I? Aha, you'll never know. Anyways, according to WBAL-TV 11, the crew were told to stay below deck as the explosions went off. So, the question in this bird's mind is, what if the simulation had worked out wrong and taken the ship out with it? You would have essentially killed 21 people on top of all the people that already died. Because there were a few people that had died in the crash. But luckily, it worked out kind of. So apparently in the original simulation, according to what I had read on WBAL TV 11's news, the original simulation showed that when it broke, it would fall off the bow of the. This is not what happened. Instead, we ended up with a giant chunk of bridge on the boat. That's just abridging everything. Sorry that. But if the simulation had worked out wrong, like let's say an example that in the explosion a piece of shrapnel punctured the boat itself, that entire thing could have gone down wrong if it had enough power to it. Granted, since it is only a what if, it's irrelevant now. But the American government could definitely have handled this better. Just when you consider that all these people, at least 21, who have been, for lack of a better word, suffering. And granted, they're not from America. I can't remember. They were like, I think they said 20 of them were from the Philippines and one Sri Lankan. I remember the one Sri Lankan. I don't remember the other one. Anyways, still could have been handled better. Don't fully trust the government, but do a little bit. On to our next story. As people begin considering who should be the next president here in the US, one thing is certain: the founding fathers and the country itself are losing. Wednesday, former President Trump and current President Biden agreed to 2 debates, one on ABC and one on CNN. Now you may ask, what is the loss by having these debates handled this way? Fact is, words hold power, phrasing is everything, and both ABC and CNN are news outlets, each with their own agendas. They are not nonpartisan or bipartisan. Thus, whichever debate you view, you will be encouraged toward the side the station leads. And for anyone that's like, oh, well, what about all those other debates? Most of those were originally done by nonpartisan groups, meaning that they were careful to make sure that the phrasing of questions was not meant to sway the people in either direction. It's basically like saying the difference between saying can you and will you. If I ask, can you do this for me? I am essentially saying I would like you to do. If I am saying, will you do this for me? I'm saying you can, but you don't have to. It's a matter of how you're saying it and how you're listening. And that's why it is so important that we monitor how we are interacting with situations. But of course, the news, even though I am a news broadcaster, I have no political sway because I literally don't care. So, even though I am reporting the news to you, it's whatever. Why is the cat bothering me? DC, would you come and get your cat? I'm serious. My honest opinion on this whole debate and the fact that they're making it like this, your country is so messed up. And in the case of you, Uzal, I don't see the monarchy saving your butt. And that's a completely valid statement. Lastly, we are ending today's broadcast with a story of hope amidst tragedy. Much of the Muslim world yesterday was celebrating Eid al-Fitr, also known as the festival of breaking the fast. However, as many of you are aware, the ongoing war between Israel and Palestine, many people reeling destruction in this confrontation is wrong. I'd say think of the children, And that is exactly what the Sharak Youth Forum and the Free Gaza Circus are doing. The SYF are focusing on psychological first aid and bringing the children a much needed sense of normality in these trying times. The FGC are going above and beyond, bringing this to more than just the children, as tented camps provide training, entertainment, and the circus also brings food parcels and cookies for the children. Now, many of you no doubt have no idea what will work, but when you take a child away from their parents for any reason or otherwise, and they actually have built a loving rapport with their family, it is an absolute tragedy. The pain that those kids are feeling from just the displacement is probably unimaginable. So, from those of us here at the Same World, Different Game Studios, while we are impartial to the idea of war and don't really like the idea, we say thank you to the people that are out there that are caring for and looking after. So, to the Sharik Youth Forum and the Free Gaza Circus, thank you for trying to help them in these trying times. Beyond that, to those who celebrated it yesterday, Eid Mubarak. To everyone else, have a lovely week and hope to see you next week, hatchlings. The content provided previously is meant informatively and for entertainment purposes. We can neither confirm nor deny any potential conspiracies about the Francis Scott Key Bridge incident. We cannot predict the impartiality or lack thereof for any major news networks. Also, send pictures of clowns too. I swear to the heavens, Shocky, if you get people sending me clown photos, I'll make you into shark fin soup. I meant the links for the stories reported on can be found below. Like, subscribe, and find Caro's. Shocky. You can also find us on TikTok or Twitch. Have a great weekend and Eid Mubarak. It's Eid Mubarak. Shocky. Yeah, that. Good night, hatchlings.